Gallifrey, your friends, your players are kind of chaotic, so I hope they don't go in the direction opposite. Well, so yeah, that's in a one shot. I guess the more experienced players, or at least players who are like aware of what is going on, of that it's a single session and that it's usually more on a timetable. Hopefully they would sort of play along more so than they might in a campaign. But one thing that can help, and I've got a short, I think, about this somewhere on my channel, but one thing that can really help to make sure that one-shots are really moving along is to kind of divide your one-shot that you've designed into a few sections. I usually have about 3 sections, right? Sort of, hey, Schweens, sort of let's just call it the beginning, the middle, and the end. And there's usually substantive differences between in the beginning, maybe it's, an environment type thing, and in the middle, maybe it's a combat, at the end, maybe it's role play, or some mixture of those 3. And maybe yours has 3, maybe yours has 5 or 7 or 2, whatever they are. Figure out those points in time, those kind of transition points where the party somehow or another needs to head a certain direction, needs to be doing something. Hopefully those things are really like lampshaded, or not lampshaded, but that those are sort of telegraphed in the game. But if they don't, make sure you have a narrative component that will sort of, for lack of a better word, force them. Try to construct a narrative sort of slip and slide for your players where it's like, oh yeah, they were goofing around over there. Well, that's fine because now X has happened, which is going to propel them forward. So in other words, if I use an example from like the Wild Sheep Chase, it's a free one shot that I've talked about before on the channel. I've run it. My wife's run it. It's a pretty good example one shot. And that one shot hinges on the party following the talking sheep into the woods. If that doesn't happen, everything comes to a standstill. And it doesn't say this in the one shot, but if like the party is less motivated, my notes are basically saying like, and if they are hesitant, if they don't, that sheep is going to grab something of theirs and run with it, right? That's just one example. Or, for some reason, if it's really bad, I'm going to take that thing from the 3rd section or the 2nd section, and I'm going to bring it to the players. And now it's going to take on a different form because they sort of like, fudged with the timetable. But it can be really helpful if you want to play for 3 hours, 4 hours, however long your time box is, to sort of take those sections and say like, okay, this should take about an hour, this should take about a half an hour, this should take about however long. That way you can kind of keep an eye on the clock and go like, I might need to deploy one of my like just in case like smash glass and sort of push things along, because otherwise you're gonna end up with a one shot that starts to spread into like 2 or even 3 sessions, and then the likelihood that you're gonna ever finish that drops like a lot. Unfortunately, that's just kind of how it goes.